I would like to preface this short speech with something Mel Fody told me once. I gauge how I'm supposed to be feeling during any meeting by our club cryometers, Hannah Lathrop and Steve Percy. So please forgive me if I stumble a bit. 8 years ago, I remember chatting with Ed Kramer about what Rotary does, and he invited me to a meeting. Immediately, I was sold. I was blown away. It was such an anomaly, all of these talented, busy professionals coming together for a mere 2 hours a week to do something to improve the communities around them. The singing, the energy, and the warmth of the room were overwhelming. And I feel that way to this day. I talked with my mom about whether or not I could handle it. Of course, because she's my mom. She was cautionary. It's a big commitment, she would say, citing not only our weekly meetings, but the host of other events that happen outside of our Thursday afternoon time slot. But ultimately, she was encouraging. And so, before I knew it, I was on this committee or that, and then on the board of directors. In the midst of this, I had my first child. I was pretty excited to be the first active member to have a baby. And there he is, 7 years later. This club is home to some of the best mothers, fathers, grandparents, aunts, and uncles that I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. And the profound examples which have been set for me, no doubt have helped me to raise my own kids to be the best that they can be. I've been proud to live my life around ideals that Rotary embodies, service before self. And I look so forward to keeping this alive, not only in this room every Thursday, but in the world among us. 2 years ago, when the process of becoming president began, I remember looking forward to what I thought it would be like. The time commitment mostly, but then the prospect of having to speak at the podium every week. But as my time as program chair and president-elect to the most fabulous Michael Bell, they have prepared me for my time as president, and now I stand at this precipice and couldn't be more excited for the coming months to unfold. Last week, my husband and I were fortunate enough to attend the Rotary International Conference in Birmingham, England. This experience really opened my eyes to the strides Rotary clubs all around the world are making. The seemingly small impact we have in our towns builds up to something that is greater than we ever really realize. And with 30,000 clubs, the Rotary organization affects lives on both the micro and macro level. It was truly amazing to see all of the different ambassadors to Rotary from 163 countries under one roof. I met an eager man who had just started up a club in Uganda, as well as groups from Canada, Montana, Peru, and France. And amidst all of these riveting one-on-one conversations, I had the privilege of hearing from both the outgoing and the incoming Rotary International presidents. These two men appear larger than life, but they remind us it's not them that make it work. Rotary happens on the club level. As you know by now, the theme set forth by President John Kenny is "The future of Rotary is in our hands," and I truly couldn't agree more. In other words, if we as a club sit back and assume all the other clubs will do the work, Rotary could be in trouble. So, not only do we need to be giving of our time, but we need to all consider becoming sustaining members. That is, give a mere $100 per year. It's as crazy simple as this $2 bill. All it takes each week to reach that goal. My experience at the conference helped me to solidify my vision of the future of Rotary and of course, more specifically, this New London club that I hold so close to my heart. I do not plan to recreate the wheel this year. I think that our club is great just the way it is, and want to focus our collective attention on really informing the community around us about what we do. By doing this, we will be even more successful in our fundraising, but also we will attract new members that bring a new energy to this club. I want to spend time strengthening the impact of our building blocks, like our Interact Club, like starting a Rotary Club, whose prospective president is in attendance tonight. And even perhaps starting an Early Act Club, whose members are 5 to 8 years old. I would love to see us take part in the 4-way speech contest, which engages not only the participating students, but also their parents, and again, helps us to strengthen our presence in New London. I want all of the members of this fine club to be as proud of it as I am, and I look to spend this next year working on developing a unified sense of self. Because while what we do every day may seem small, we really do set an example for the world around us. One of the greatest lessons I've learned in life so far is that if you're going to do something, do it and do it well. This philosophy has helped to shape my time with this club, and I hope to cultivate an active membership that makes the rewards of our hard work that much sweeter. When you're personally invested in any kind of initiative, large or small, the impact of what you do becomes real and palpable. When we become individually invested with the clubs, committees, projects, and initiatives, 2 things happen. The obvious is that you immediately get to see the results of your work. But the more subtle benefit is that you get to know your fellow Rotarians on a different level. The softer side, if you will. I've only been able to help at the soup kitchen a handful of times, but there you can really see the faces of the people you're helping. And then you can see Dave Gable standing at the dish sink, never stopping. And Michael Belt cooking and serving, a secret passion of his. And when we're handing out the dictionaries to all those sweet, smiling faces that are so excited that you're giving them a gift, you can't help but feel like Rotary is making a difference in these tiny lives. It doesn't hurt that I get to spend time with Carmelina, Jerry Tom, and Lorraine Allen over Coco Vin, because it's all about the food. While putting stickers in 1,000 books or so and talking about the ones that used to be our favorites. I've loved those rainy, windy, cold, sometimes warm brew fests. When you come home smelling like a brewery, or in my case, a clam, where Phil Turner is there in his jeans running the show, and Jim McGuire is there till the end, dumping empty beer bottles into the dumpster. And who better to explain to the 25-year-olds what Rotary is all about but Frank McLaughlin. The impact that all of these relationships have had on my life is no small thing. I've learned so much and truly revere all of you in my heart. You are all amazing people, and I'm honored that you chose me to be your leader over the next 12 months. One of my favorite things about this club is that we don't take ourselves too seriously. We sing. Sometimes we sing serious songs, but my favorite is when I see suit and tie clad Ivan Sadler singing If You're Happy and You Know It. So on that note, I'd like to close by saying, I promise this year to keep things light but energetic, fun but productive, and most of all, meaningful. Thank you.